Greetings, this is Almendorius, and I am going to attempt to do an Armored Warfare video. I have been playing the crap out of this, so I haven't been doing a lot of World of Warships, which unfortunately meant that I didn't get into the double time weekend this weekend. Well, I mean, I was a little bit busy too. But, and then tomorrow, Fallout 4 comes out. So I guess you can imagine what I'm going to be doing. Now, if I can do it, I will try to put up some videos for Fallout 4. Those type of games I don't do very well in the narration because there's a lot of long blanks while I'm, figuring things out and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But anyway, this here is my current pride and joy, the Tier 5 Chieftain Mark V. Very, very fun tank. A lot of people in the game have said, oh, the Chieftain sucks. No. This tank can take hit. Now, this tank can take hit, but it has two major flaws. Its speed and maneuverability aren't that great, and it doesn't have heat rounds, which are very useful for inflicting high levels of damage. However, with the proper gear, you can get a very quick rate of fire, relatively speaking, for the gun. I have mine down to 7 seconds, and this will only improve as the crew ranks up. And my aim time's a little better, and I have more hit points. Anyway, let's go into a PvP mission now. Oh yeah, this is another thing too. If you're playing this game, sometimes it'll reset itself to the initiation training. So if you're going to go into PVE matches in a platoon, this will interfere with it because this is single player only. If you're thinking about getting into the game, this is a good place to start because this will give you some very basics on how the game functions. Very similar to World of Tanks early on, but as Jingles pointed out, well, it gets very different later on. Alright, so let's start a hard contract. PvE. Now, as far as tanks go, the AI goes, the AI is pretty good. It does a lot of stupid things, and it tends to focus on whatever shot it last. So you can save your allies with judiciously placed shots. If the enemy tank is targeting an ally that just hit it that has lower health, you can shoot that enemy tank and it'll turn its attention to you, provided it can see you, of course. Okay, this will be a top tier 6. We've seen a lot of chieftains lately, so I think people are cluing into this. Alright, as you can see, there are primary and secondary objectives. Primary, secondary. I'm not sure if these are completely enabled, but it's always good to get them anyway and get in the habit of getting them. Typically, you want your later vehicles like AFVs to go for them. In this case, we do not have an AFV. We have 4 main battle tanks and 1 tank destroyer.
Black Company. This refinery is a valuable strategic asset. The Lions of Neckville want to blow it up to send a message to the locals. Stay alert.
Now, as I was commenting on the AI, it all depends on how it goes. The AI can screw you up bad.
Neutralize them en route to the refinery.
Target immobilized. Enemy destroyed.
If they get enough numbers on you. Also, you can have some very bad damage rolls against you. No, missed. Shot deviated a bit.
Direct hit.
That's another thing too. Even if you're in an MBT,
Target hit.
you have to watch out for BMPs and BMDs. They are lightly armored,
Good hit.
but they're usually pretty well armed. Ow. And that was artillery. .46 seconds. Now that's weird. My time for my shots varies, because the last time I was in a match, it was 7.03 seconds. So I don't know what's going on there.
Direct hit.
If I can get a... oh yeah, this part up here you have to enable. Because if you don't enable it, it's not there. Yeah, it's weird. I've noticed a little bit of variability in my reload time.
No effect.
Doink. That's an Abrams. Fun tank to try to fight from the front.
No bandage.
Also explosive reactive armor, I do believe. So I'm going to change targets. Oh, you can't hit anymore. There we go. See, he's front on to me now and I can't really hurt him. But I can hurt that guy.
Those self-righteous bastards have armed explosives. Black Company, take that refinery before it explodes.
Direct hit.
There are some maps, of course, that are harder than others. There's a map called Rolling Thunder that if you take too much damage early on, it doesn't bode well for your team.
Direct destroy.
Let's see, can I see the secondary from here? No. Wait a second. I thought I saw it for a second there. He's going for it.
Good, that's the last truck.
As you can see, the Chieftain doesn't have a lot for speed. I do believe its maximum speed, if you ever reach it without going downhill, is 46, 48 kilometers an hour. It might even be a little bit less. A lot of other tanks, of course, are faster. The T-Series tends to be a bit faster. The Leopard tanks in this have been incredibly underwhelming. My experience with them has not been good. The reason why I say ready is because driving onto this triggers the next triggers a final wave of enemies.
Direct hit.
That is, you can see the overmatch there. That means my shell basically went in one side and out the other. Did some damage on the way.
Good hit.
Also aiming for the... oh, better get off of this. Missed. My fault. One thing I have found about the Leopards is that they can't take a hit, and their guns are underwhelming, at least as far as the 2AV. Now I don't have the 2AV, but a friend does, but I do have the 1A5, and I hate it. I just keep saying there is no possible way the Leopard is that bad. The Leopard 1 was that bad a tank in real life. The first two, the Leopard 1 and the OF-40, aren't bad.
Incoming.
Artillery. No, I do believe I was talking about the BMPs and BMDs earlier. They are AFVs.
Good hit.
Here, see, he's looking at me.
Target
Now,
destroyed.
that BMP didn't have the right kind of armament to really put a dent in me. However, some of them have guns with heat rounds and high explosive. The BMP-1 is like this, and I think the BMP-1P, which is another one I have, is like that. The BMP-1P has anti-tank guided missiles. You can only fire one at a time, but those things hurt. Uh-oh. That was close. That could have been bad. That would have been an embarrassing end to the video.
Identify target. Hostile. Thanks. Direct hit. Target locked. Target's gone.
Doink.
Target eliminated.
And we win.
Great job, Black Company. The refinery is under our control, and the explosives have been disabled.
Well, anyway. Not bad, not bad. Let's see how I did. I'll wait, of course, for the victory screen to end. But, anyway, yeah, PVE is a great way to get used to your tanks and to grind out their equipment and such without going into PvP. So you basically, as Jingle said, never have to take a stock tank into PvP again. Not bad for a non-double. Unfortunately, I didn't do... And I see now, I should have gotten a shooter badge, but I didn't. You can see the detail breakdown here. Very, very, very high detail breakdown of exactly what you did in the game. So yeah, it's much more detailed than World of Tanks. Team stats now. I actually did the worst on the team for experience. That's okay though. That doesn't too often happen. Let me show you... I don't think I can show it here. Anyway, this has been Almendoris, and again, this game is quite fun. The PvP is decently challenging, of course, because you're against players. The PvE can be extremely challenging. What you saw there was basically a cakewalk. There are times when, because there's a little bit of randomization involved with enemy some enemy placement in action, and what enemies you're facing. To give an example, there was this one map where for yesterday it was all the spot, you know, 2 main battle tanks, 2 boss main battle tanks. That's named like, think of an RPG, named tanks that show up in yellow, that are like just that much harder to kill and hurt that much more when they hit. But the same spot, 2 of these showing up. 2 of these shows up today, same spot. 2 light tanks, not bosses, just regular. So there's a little bit of variety. I mean, yeah, the maps can get a little repetitious after a bit, but there is just enough variety that you don't quite know what to expect. You have a generally pretty good idea, but another neat feature, when you idle too long, this starts going around. Yeah, you generally have a general idea of what's going to happen, but you don't know for sure. Anyway, it's free to play. Do play it. It's quite fun. And this has been Almendoris, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now, this is Almendoris. Very quick interjection for the very end of my previous video. You'll note my aim time. Now, in the last video, it was like something like 7.46 seconds. This time, 7.3, or 7.03 rather. So I'm not sure what's going on there, and I think I am going to put this up too on the forum, in the sort of like the bug department, because I'm not entirely certain what's going on with it. Anyway, this has been Almendoris, and again, brief injection. Have a good one.